Hello, race fans, and welcome to the 2021 Lake Guntersville Hydrofest and the Race for the Southern Cup. It's been a long time, 21 months exactly, since our H1 Unlimited hydroplanes have been on the water and competed against each other. And we are going to solve that problem and solve that whole issue tomorrow. It is right now Friday evening. It is about 5:30, and I am in the pit area on Lake Guntersville that you see behind me there. And we have 7 H1 Unlimited hydroplanes ready to do battle. And I can tell you, the fans, the announcers like myself, everybody, officials, drivers, crew members, everybody is anxious to get these boats on the water. As I said, it has been a long time coming. But we're ready to go. We're going to take care of that tomorrow morning. We want to take a moment now and walk through the pit area. I'm going to quickly introduce you to the 7 Unlimited hydroplanes that will compete in the Race for the Southern Cup here in 2021 on Lake Guntersville. We will start right here with the U11, the J&D's hydroplane. If you think it looks a little different from how it did last time we saw it, which was 2 years ago in 2019, it does. We often referred to this boat as the Chartreuse and Carnival Orange U11 J&Ds. Gone is the Carnival Orange. It's been replaced with Royal Blue, but the Chartreuse is still there. The boat is owned by Scott and Shannon Rainey. It is driven by Jamie Nielsen. He'll handle the driving duties, but it is also a different boat. This is not the same boat that the Raineys campaigned in 2019. This is their other hull that they have run before as the Peters and May. For those of you who keep track of these hulls, this is the former T4 Miss Budweiser. They have not put the boat on the water in 2021 since doing extensive work in the off-season. Next up on our list here from Miss Madison Racing, and as it says right there on the air dam, they've been racing for 60 years. This is the Miss Home Street. It is the U1, and you're thinking, yes, it says Goodman Real Estate on the side. This is the second hull, if you will, the 2007 hull from Miss Madison Racing. It has run as the Miss Home Street many times. This particular hull with the black and gold, you will see on the front, it does have the name Home Street on the canard wing and on the rear wing. This is a very competitive hydroplane. It has claimed 3 Gold Cup championships and 8 National High Points championships. Jeff Bernard will handle the driving duties. Walking down here between the boats, I mentioned Jamie Nielsen was going to be driving this U11, and I got to think you're awfully anxious to get in this thing. You haven't had it on the water yet. It's going to be a new piece. You ready?
Oh, I'm ready. So the boat's almost ready. We got it trailer fired for the first time at a race site. So just putting the finishing touches on it right now and hoping to be one of the first ones in the water tomorrow.
It's been 21 months since we got to do this. I got to think you, like every one of us, is just so anxious to get this started.
Yeah, you're telling me. So it's going to be probably a little bit of a sleepless night tonight, but we'll be here ready to go early in the morning and can't wait.
You heard it straight from Jamie Nielsen. They expect to be on the water early tomorrow morning. Good luck, my friend. We'll look for you. Jamie Nielsen, driver of the U11, the J&Ds. That's 2 of our 7 boats. Let's keep it going. We got to walk around a crane here. You see a crowd is gathering here in the pit area as we're being treated to a nice southern barbecue tonight in about 20 minutes. So people are beginning to gather for that. It's been a great day here in Guntersville. They had a meet and greet this morning with all the boats in a big open area where fans could come up and interact with the drivers. It's been a lot of fun. Some of the talk, a lot of the talk in the off-season has centered around the 2 new boats of Daryl and Vanessa Strong out of the Tri-Cities. Daryl Strong went out in the fall, actually into the winter of 2020, and he purchased the U9 and the racing assets from Mike and Lori Jones, and he named Corey Peabody as his driver for the 21 season. Then shortly after the first of the year in 2021, he got a hold of Eric Elstrom. Daryl Strong, got a hold of Eric Elstrom. They purchased the former U16, which last raced in 2017 at the Seattle Seafair with J.W. Myers behind the wheel. J-Dub will not be driving it this weekend. J. Michael Kelly will handle the driving chores. And as a matter of fact, right on cue, here comes the young man, Mike. I got to think you maybe are as excited or more excited than anybody here in the pit area.
I'm super excited just to be back out on the water behind the driver's seat, getting the race in front of a bunch of people, and new opportunities, and just things are starting to feel a little bit more normal again. And so, yeah, super excited and just glad to be here in Guntersville, and looking forward to tomorrow happening.
I've got to ask this question because you've got an owner who has invested heavily in the sport with these two beautiful boats. He's put a lot of money into the equipment. Is there any extra pressure on you that you feel like you've got to deliver to them?
I feel like, for me, I want to, give them a winning boat and stuff, show that their investment was well worth it. And, but they aren't putting any pressure on me. They want us to go out there, get familiar with the boats, myself and Corey. But we both know that we have extremely fast boats, and we just got to get comfortable with them, and we'll see what happens. But, luckily we were able to go out and get that test session in Tri-Cities. I was really pleased on how the boat performed. So I'm excited, and I think we both got rockets to go out there and go compete with.
I think we're all excited. It's been 21 months. Let's go out and have some fun this weekend, my friend.
We're thrilled to be here, and it's going to be fun. I got guys over there making faces at me, so there's a lot of happy guys and gals in the pits running around, and we're all excited to be back and go racing.
Give us a show. We're ready.
Yes, we are too.
All right, J. Michael Kelly, good luck, my friend. All right, we're talking about two boats. He was talking about the 8 that he will be driving, the U8. It is the Miss Tri-Cities, but the other boat is the 9 hull. This is the hull I mentioned earlier that was purchased from Mike and Lori Jones along with the other racing assets. Corey Peabody will handle the driving chores of this one. And as far as Guntersville goes, this boat knows this race course very well. It was 2018 when Andrew Tate was behind the wheel of this particular boat and was victorious here on the race for the Southern Cup. The U8 and the U9, the stables of Strong Racing, they look to be very much a player this weekend in the Southern Cup. So if the two twin silver boats are pitted next together, now we've got the two orange boats pitted together. Starting first with the U40. This is the Beacon Plumbing. This is another big story for 2021 as we get ready to go racing, because this particular hull, which Kelly and Sharon Stockland purchased during the fall of 2020, they purchased it from Go Fast Turn Left Racing. But the big story there is Dave Villwock, the winningest driver in the history of Unlimited Racing, returns to the seat. And again, just like J. Michael Kelly, right on cue, here he is. Mr. Villwock, you haven't driven for a long time. You got a great piece here. What are the feelings right now?
It's pretty good. Actually, we ran the boat last year when nobody else did. So, we're getting ready to start another engine. We've done a lot of work. I think we'll be fast.
You and I talked in Tri-Cities after the test session. I'm going to toss this one at you now because you said I was afraid maybe to ask the question, what brought you back? Why was this the right time to come back and drive?
Well, it's just a group of people. Kelly, I've raced boats with Kelly for a long, long time. And, when I asked Kelly to come down to help us with the propeller program at Budweiser, he came, he showed up. When Kelly asked me to help with this, I showed up. Friends do what friends need.
You having a good time?
Yeah, we're having a good time. So far, so good.
So far, so good. Welcome back. We'll look for you out on the water this weekend. Have a good weekend.
Thank you.
Dave Villwock. He'll be piloting the U40, the Beacon Plumbing. I mentioned the two orange boats. Let's go down to the second one. This is the one most people here in Guntersville might recognize right out of the box. This is the 440. This is the smaller boat. This is the boat that has the smaller turbine. It's a little bit smaller boat, but made a very big splash in Guntersville in 2019, the last time they were here. Driver Dustin Eccles, who will be driving the boat again this weekend, turned a fast lap north of 150 miles an hour. I don't think anybody really believed this boat could ever turn a lap at 150 miles an hour, but they did. I talked to Dustin in the Tri-Cities after the test session. I said, how fast can this thing go? He said, we've been talking maybe about 155. That would be a huge, huge jump. But Dustin Eccles, Kelly Stockland, this entire Bucket List Racing team is ready to go, and I wouldn't put anything past them. Bucket List Racing, the second orange boat, 440. The driver is Dustin Eccles. I tell you, you guys are really good. I mention your name, you show up. Mr. Eccles, how are you? Welcome back to Guntersville.
I couldn't be happier to be here. I'm so excited, and I can't believe it, but I think it's actually warmer at home than it is down here.
It definitely is. He and I are both from the Pacific Northwest. I heard 108 in Seattle today.
Yeah, my wife has a firefighting test on Sunday, and they actually canceled it because it's so hot back there. But here, it's perfect. It doesn't get any better than this.
It doesn't get any better than this. I was just talking about the last time you were out on the water, you saw 150 miles an hour. You guys are starting to flirt with that 155. You ready to go?
I am, yeah. It's there in the boat too. We found some more stuff that it's going to make this thing go a lot faster. It makes everything else work harder though. So we're going over it with a fine tooth comb right now, and we found a few little things we wanted to change. I know we've had a lot of time in the off season, but when you're here actually at the race course, you start finding other little things. So that's what we're doing right now.
That's what it's all about. It's been 21 months. Can't wait to see you get out there and mix it up with the other guys. I know you're anxious.
I think we all are. We've all been having big grins on our face today. We can't get out there, wait to get out there and mix it up. We're excited.
Course opens at 9. I'll see you out there.
Thanks a lot.
All right, Dustin Eccles, good luck this weekend, my friend. We are going to head this way back behind the two orange boats. Got to walk around a crane again. Looking out over an absolutely gorgeous Lake Guntersville right now. We'll come around the crane and we'll find another of our big changes here for 2021. This is the U12, the Graham Trucking. That would be the U40, the Beacon Plumbing, firing up on the trailer here. And I know boat race fans all around the country and all around the world are so anxious and excited to hear that sound. Fans, we're going racing tomorrow, and we're going to get them out on the water. The U40, Beacon Plumbing, Dave Vilwalk, the driver. That's sweet music to H1 Unlimited fans. So our last boat in our 7-boat field here, and certainly not one to be overlooked, it's our U12, the Graham Trucking, the boat owned by Rob Graham out of the Pacific Northwest. It's got another of our changes that we're going to see this year. We had a lot of guys bouncing from seat to seat. Andrew Tate is going to take over the cockpit here of the U12. J. Michael Kelly, as we talked earlier, is down driving the other boat. Andrew will take over this boat. This boat, maybe more so than any other boat at the test session, was maybe the biggest surprise. And speaking of Andrew Tate, got the young man right here. I'll step off of there and get down a little closer to you. The boat ran really, really well in the Tri-Cities. I got to believe you were impressed.
Yeah, but more importantly, the team was happy. So they're the ones with the numbers from past experience and past years, past drivers. So if they were excited, then it's exciting for me. I was relatively comfortable, and that's going to be what this weekend is also about. Kind of keep that ball rolling, continue to gain momentum, and become more comfortable with the boat and the equipment and the team, and see what we can do here.
And getting comfortable with the boat is one thing, but getting comfortable with the team is definitely important. You gelling with these guys?
Yeah, everyone's been great so far. I've known Tom Anderson since he crew chief for my dad back in the 2000s with Harvey's team. So some familiar faces around, and then we brought Jimmy Gebline and Brian Gibb over from the old U9 Jones Racing team. So that's definitely helping with the comfort factor and having some familiar faces around. So we're all excited. We're looking forward to it, and yeah, keep learning.
And it's good to have you back driving the 12. And you know what it takes to win out here on this particular course. We love to talk about it, maybe the greatest final heat of all time. Give us another show. We're so hungry for it.
Yeah, hopefully we can duplicate or come close to what happened in 2018 with myself and Jimmy Shane in the Home Street boat. It was a great race, I don't know what the exact difference was overall, but it was more than one point where we could have reached out and touched each other throughout the course of that heat. And to come down here for the first time in Guntersville was special, So if we can be that close to someone fighting for the win at the end of the weekend, it's going to be a win for us no matter what. Hopefully we can come out on top.
It's good to have you back in the seat here. Good to have you here in Guntersville. Let's have some fun this weekend. It's been too long without racing. Let's go.
That's right. We're going to have some fun. That's what it's all about. Thanks, Brad.
Andrew Tate, driver of the U12, the Graham Trucking. He drove this boat Tri-Cities at the test session, and as you said, it's not just about getting the boat running hard and getting the boat running well. It's also about him gelling with the team. He's got to work together with these guys. He's got to be able to communicate with them. He has to be able to come back and tell them what the boat is doing and be the crew chief's eyes and ears out on the race course. He mentioned Tom Anderson. That is his crew chief. And he's got to be able to communicate with him and talk to him in his language so they can make the necessary adjustments on the boat to make them competitive throughout the weekend. That's what it's all about in H1 Unlimited Racing. It's running better every time you go out on the course. We're walking back down through the pit area. I'm looking for Jeff Bernard. I think we've got him found over there. So want to get a word with Jeff Bernard because he's going to be driving the U1 Miss Home Street. Jeff will be driving it this weekend. Jimmy Shane will handle the driving chores in Madison. That's my understanding of how this will work. If Jeff looks a little tired when we get him here, his wife explained to me they were on a red eye coming in last night. So he's got the glasses on. We can't see how the eyes are going. But Jeff, first of all, welcome to Guntersville because you haven't been here before, correct?
Nope, this is the first time. Pretty awesome so far. The pits are a little bit emptier than what we're used to on a setup day, but it's nice and relaxing today after a long week that I've had at work, so I'll take it.
What are the other drivers telling you about the race course? What have you heard?
Truthfully, I haven't talked to too many people. Jimmy and I will work together tomorrow, do some testing first thing. I'm going to be in the boat all day tomorrow. The qualifying, and we'll go out and work on timing runs. I've done a lot on the Hydro Sim, obviously. There's some similarities on getting used to going way out there. But mainly tomorrow morning we'll focus on timing runs, and then come qualifying we'll figure out our gear pack and get ready for racing. And I think Jimmy is going to drive on Sunday, the first heat, and then I'll finish out the day on Sunday.
So you'll finish out the day and run it in the final.
Yes, that's the plan.
Very good. And you know this boat. This is not a foreign item to you. You know how to handle this one.
Yeah, this is the same boat that we ran in 2019. That was the Oberto. 2020, had we had a season, we brought Goodman Real Estates on. Unfortunately, we didn't do the 2020 season. When Seattle canceled, Goodman decided let's focus on 2022. Being this is a Miss Madison boat, the Madison board wanted a boat to come back east. Both Home Street and Goodman were set to just mothball the season and focus on getting the boats best prepared for 2022. But they wanted a Madison boat at Madison and Guntersville. So both Goodman and Home Street put together a deal that we can bring the boats here, or one boat here, and Jimmy will drive in Madison and I'll drive most of this weekend.
Well, we're mighty glad you brought the boat down here. It looks beautiful. The thing is gorgeous. That black and gold, I really like it.
Yeah, they did an awesome job. Trey and Snake did a lot of work. Prep work is key on a paint job. Jimmy Lee repainted it. It's probably one of the cleanest paint jobs that I've seen come out. There's not many flaws on the boat. Obviously, when it's fully Goodman, the colors will all really go together. But without Home Street, we wouldn't be here. Happy that we're going to be the Miss Home Street, but Goodman, we're showcasing him all to get excited for 2022, and hopefully both boats will be out fully sponsored, and we'll have a full race season.
Well, we're very glad that this particular hull is here to help fill out the field. It's a very competitive boat, and I can tell you from knowing this guy for many, many years, nobody likes to race hydroplanes more than Jeff Bernard. Have a good weekend, my friend.
Thank you, Brad.
All right. Jeff Bernard. So that's it. Those are the 7 H1 Unlimited hydroplanes that are going to compete on what Katie Norton, the event director, likes to refer to as the South's fastest water. And she can back that up with a lot of statistics, because where I'm standing in the pit area here, we are a long way from the race course. The race course is way over there on the other side. I don't know if he can pick up with his camera those tents, those white tents on the other side. That's where the race course is. So a little bit of a different venue. But as Katie says, it is fast water. And we've seen some extremely fast times. Our qualifying record here is north of 162 miles an hour. We've seen some of the most competitive racing in the history of the sport in the 2 years that we've been running here on Lake Guntersville in 2018, 2019. Again, my name is Brad Luce. I'm going to be working with H1 Unlimited and doing my best to bring you all of the action this weekend. It's been a long time coming, and it is time to go boat racing. Tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock, we're going to open the course. and I can tell you we're all going to have a lot of fun. Be sure and join us on H1's network on YouTube. They'll be streaming live every time one of these boats is on the water. Good night, everybody from Guntersville. Get ready to go racing tomorrow. The season's back. To see the 9, the 8, and the 12. Haven't seen a whole lot of movement over there yet. They don't have to come out at 6 minutes. They can. We got one boat coming up and away. I'm being told the U8 with J. Michael Kelly and the U9 away from the dock with Corey Peabody. So we'll bring them across. Five minutes until the start. We have a green flag on the race course, 4 minutes and 50 seconds to the start. It's Heat 1A of the 2021 Lake Guntersville Hydro Fest, the race for the Southern Cup. Let's go hydroplane racing. It is about time. We've waited 21 months to do this. Let's hope we get a good one. Looks like J. Michael Kelly, if that's got the white cowling on it, it's certainly one of the Darrell Strong boats that is up at the top end of the race course. It looks like that's Corey Peabody coming up behind him at the three-quarter mark of the backstretch. J. Michael Kelly, our second fastest qualifier. Look at the water conditions out here. Everything is perfect. There is a very much a silence right here at Lake Guntersville as JMK flies across start-finish line here. Talked to this young man last night. All he wants to do is drive. All he wants to do is race. He said he probably wouldn't sleep much last night. Like all of us, he is excited to see this happen. Here comes his teammate. Here comes his grade school classmate. Here comes his good buddy. Also the top qualifier, Corey Peabody, Pinnacle Peak Consulting, the U9. And at the top end of the race course, our third boat. Apparently we are not going to see the 440. The top end of the race course. It is the U12, the Graham Trucking, Andrew Tate. I got a nickel. Jeff Ayler says I make a mistake on that, and I put J. Michael Kelly in that 12. It's just been too many years.
That's going to be tough to get used to, Brad, this year. JMK in the number 8, Miss Tri-Cities. Corey Peabody, top qualifier in the Pinnacle Peak Consulting. Here's Andrew Tate, dominant red with the silver and black, the U12 Graham Trucking. Brad, it's the race before the race. Your lane is not assigned to you before the start. This is the milling period. This is where it gets interesting.
This is where it gets very interesting, and a lot can happen here. Like Jeff said, this is the race before the race. Your lanes are not assigned. So you're going to come and fight for that lane as you see our two boats go down to the lower end of the race course. Tate is on the inside of J. Michael Kelly at the lower end. Looks like Kelly went around him. Before J. Michael Kelly could move to the left in front of Andrew Tate, he would have to have 7 boat lengths. He certainly got that now if he wanted to move. But again, we're still very early. 2 minutes and 30 seconds to the start. 2:30, now 2:25. J. Michael Kelly, you see him slow down up the backstretch now. And Andrew Tate has yet to put his foot in the 12, the Graham Trucking. He's just been slowly going around the race course. As Corey Peabody comes off the bottom end of the race course here, and he's running a little more with a little more authority up the backstretch. It's Corey Peabody, J. Michael Kelly, and Andrew Tate coming up on 2 minutes. 2 minutes until the start. Heat 1A presented by Redstone Federal Credit Union. There you see Andrew Tate cutting the race course from the back to the front. I mentioned that was a legal maneuver. He did it at the proper place on the race course, and there goes J. Michael Kelly across the race course. And he can do that. He can cut from the front stretch to the back when he is down at the lower end of the race course. That was legal. Now watch Tate as we watch the clock with 1:30 until the start. I think Andrew's going to go all the way down now with 1:30 on this 2.5-mile course. I like where Andrew Tate sits right now. He might find himself on the inside, but I'll tell you what, J. Michael Kelly is a master at getting lane one. He's going to come off the top end of the course behind everybody. Will he cut the course and try and jump to the inside? It's got 1:10. I don't think he's going to have to go around. I think he was too early to jump over and try and get in front of Andrew. So, coming out of the bottom end of the race course, it's going to be Andrew Tate there first. We're inside 1:55 until the start. Heat 1A presented for the Lake Guntersville Hydrofest by the Redstone Federal Credit Union. 45 seconds until the start. It looks like it's going to be Tate in 1, Peabody in 2, and J. Michael Kelly on the outside as they'll go up to the top end of the race course. Now, it's those timing marks that they really haven't had a lot of time to experiment with here. But the idea is to take a race boat at 180 miles an hour, put it right here on the start-finish line, wide open when the clock strikes 0. And that's going to happen in 18 seconds. It's about a 16-second run off of the top end of the race course. And right now we are at 11 seconds. Whatever the timing is, they're going to come down here together because we are inside 8. In fact, we are inside 5. We are 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 mark. And finally, we are racing as Corey Peabody takes him across start-finish line. 21 months in waiting, and Corey Peabody leads him across down to the lower end of the race course. He's got J. Michael Kelly with him on the outside. Where Tate's right there on the inside in the Graham Trucking. So off the corner down there, it is Corey Peabody in the middle, and on his left and on the inside is Andrew Tate on the outside. You cannot see him. It is J. Michael Kelly. The start was good. Everybody was legal at the start. A real strong run up the backstairs. Oh, look at Tate start to gobble him up a little bit on the inside. Tater on it. You haven't seen Kelly. He's right there with him. Top end of the race course, Corey Peabody. Got to leave room in there for Andrew Tate. He certainly does. Plenty of lane space. Kelly on the outside. We're going to go 3 times around here. And it is Corey Peabody from lane number 2 with the lead. And second place will go to J. Michael Kelly at the end of 1. Tate is in 3rd with the lane position on the inside. Corey Peabody driving that 9, driving it like a rocket. He likes this boat. He says he's getting more and more comfortable every day. Oh, look at the race for second place down there. JMK on the outside. You can see the skid fin wall. Tater on the inside. But it's still Corey Peabody coming smartly down the backstretch. He is showing you that there is no question that top qualifying speed was legit. And he's 3/4 of the way up the backstretch right now. Look at the race for second place. J. Michael Kelly on the outside. JMK is driving an awfully big race course out there in lane number 3. And now the white flag will be displayed. The drivers will come down. That white flag tells them they got 1 lap to go. Tate right on the buoy row. Tate was right on the buoy. I don't know if he hit it, but he did go in. Where is Andrew Tate? Oh, there he is. He hooked to the inside of the race course. We'll get back to Andrew Tate. Our leader is Corey Peabody. Second place, his teammate, J. Michael Kelly. That is, from my perspective, that is not going to be an issue with Corey Peabody not giving Andrew Tate enough room up there. I think there was plenty of lane space in there. I think Andrew just got a little tight to the buoy row, maybe fell in a hole and hooked it. I was about to say I thought J. Michael Kelly might sit back and let this one go, pick up the 300 second place points. But JMK is starting to move smartly up the backstretch. He's in the rooster tail right now of his buddy, Corey Peabody. Corey Peabody shocking everybody here with a dominant run in our Heat 1A presented by Redstone Federal Credit Union. He's just got to come off the top end of the race course and come down and pick up a checkered flag. It flies for Corey Peabody, driving a 9. Wow, Pinnacle Peak Consulting Group comes in first. J. Michael Kelly and the Miss Tri-Cities, the U8, will come home in second place. Wow. They are telling the 12 and Andrew Tate to run an extra lap. That does not necessarily mean there is a penalty. We will clear that with the officials. Sometimes, if there is an infraction, he will have to run another lap. Sometimes they're not sure if there was an infraction, so they will review the tape and see what it is. But if it turns out that he needed to run an extra lap, they will have put one in the books. Right where the blue ends and morphs in toward the back of the boat in the chartreuse, there is a lightning bolt in there, and it is Carnival Oak. So you still got it.
We'll get that tabulated in.
We'll have it. All right, checking a watch here. 6 minutes. 6 minutes to the start of Heat 1B, presented by Redstone Federal Credit Union. Inside 6 minutes, Dave Villwalk into Beacon Plumbing. Jeff Bernard in the Goodman Real Estate presents Miss Home Street. Jamie Nielsen, J&D Hydraulics out of Auburn, Washington. Just as I did with Covington, I make a comment that everybody must know where Auburn, Washington is, and probably most of you don't. Just a little bit south of the city of Seattle, on the west side of the mountains, by SeaTac Airport, not too far. It was my residence up until last September when I moved over to the east side of the state. Heat 1B. 5 minutes and 15 seconds. 5:15 to the start. Heat 1B, Redstone Federal Credit Union. We got boats on the water. We got boats coming our way. Five minutes to the start of Heat 1B. So we'll pick them out of the sun as they come our way. Absolutely gorgeous conditions here on Lake Guntersville. The cloud cover filters out a little bit of the sun and the heat every once in a while. And the water conditions are great. Top end of the race course, Jamie Nielsen driving the 11. Chartreuse and blue J&Ds. 4 minutes and 10 seconds. 4:10 is Jamie Nielsen. They struggled here early in the morning, but they've got the boat up and running now, and it's looking pretty good. There is Jeff Bernard driving the Goodman Real Estate. Presents the Miss Home Straight DU1. Jeff Bernard out of the Pacific Northwest, looking only 4 now. Looking for Dave Villwalk in the 40 at the 3:45 mark. Monitor the radio here. See if we can find. We are missing Dave Villwalk. Not hearing anything official right now at the 3 minute and 20-second mark as Jamie Nielsen cuts the race course. Jeff going to do the same? Yes, he is. Jeff's going to do the same maneuver as Jamie. Coming up on 3 minutes until the start. 3 minutes. Boy, what a development this would be, Jeff Ayler, if all this anticipation to get Dave Villwalk back in the seat and get him out racing. What a development if he did not show here for his first heat of racing.
Let's hope they can fix the problem if there is one at the dock of the U40 Beacon Plumbing. Dave Villwock, the all-time winningest driver in the sport of H1 Unlimited Hydroplane Racing. 67 victories, making his comeback after a 7-year absence. We hope he can make it, and Brad, he has to be on the course in a planing attitude prior to 1 minute.
And it is right now 2:30 until the start, so he's got about a $1.20 to get that boat up on a plane. As Jeff said, he can't be plowing water, and it is a hefty penalty if he joins the race course after the 1 minute mark. So we'll watch that, and he's got about a minute 10 to make it out on the race course. Meanwhile, our two boats that are in the heat are at the top end of the course. Jeff Bernard is the first boat up there. Watch for Jeff to sit it right in lane number 1. I like where he sits right now. I think he can come all the way down and go all the way down to the lower corner. As we are now inside 2 minutes, we are at 1:50 until the start. Jeff actually would have an opportunity down here, I think, to cut the course if he wanted to. It's however he wants to play it. I think he's got plenty of time if he wanted to hit the throttle here and maybe run hard down and up the backstretch, do a lap in 1:30, don't know. But Jamie Nielsen might want to do something fancy here and maybe cut the race course at $1.25 before the start, but it looks like both of them are going to go all the way down. Jeff Ayler, 20 seconds, still no Dave Villwock.
Looks like Villwock will be a no-show here in Unlimited 1B. And Brad, right now I expect both drivers to be well behaved. It appears Jeff Bernard will be in lane 1, Jamie Nielsen in 2. That's good news for the J&D's team after struggles this morning. They'll make 1B. Brad, we're a minute away.
1 minute right there, and Dave Villwock is not on the water, so the Beacon Plumbing to U40 is going to be a no-show. Jeff Bernard halfway up the backstretch, inside 1 minute, make it 50 seconds until the start of our Heat 1B, presented by Redstone Federal Credit Union. We're going to have a small field here, only a couple of boats, a little bit of a match race, but they can still hook it up and run side by side. Jamie Nielsen wants to get out there and measure his boat a bit. And what they mean by that is he wants to go out and run alongside Jeff Bernard, see what he's got. This is only the second or third time the boat has really run. Today was the first time the boat got in the water, and they started to put things together to see what they had. Now it's the first time they can actually go out and run the boat in competition. They're coming off the top end of the race course with 12 seconds until the start, making 10, 9, 8 as they come to the start. Can't cross the start-finish line before the clock strikes 0. We're inside 5. We are 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1. Mark, and it looks like a legal start to me, and they're dead even as they cross the start-finish line. Jamie Nielsen and Jeff Bernard hit the line exactly together with a lot of boat speed. It is a good start. Down to the lower end of the race course. Watch for Bernard on the inside. Got a nice lane on the inside. Got a nice corner, but you can see that skid fin on the outside. Jamie Nielsen is right there. Up the backstretch, Bernard now starts to open it up a little bit, but just a little bit. He's got about 3, maybe 4 boat lengths up the backstretch. Jamie Nielsen's hanging with him, Jeff Ayler.
Brad, they work into turn number 2. Bernard has the advantage on the inside, shorter way around, and Goodman Real Estate presents Miss Home Street. Nielsen back in second, and J&D's about 6 boat lengths off the turn. Bernard in front.
Bernard is in front, swings it out to about lane number 2. Jamie slides out to about lane 3, maybe 3.5. Coming down still very close together. Good racing here in our Heat 1B, presented by Redstone Federal Credit Union. Now it's Jeff Bernard out by a full rooster tail. As they go down toward the lower end of the race course here on lap number 2, and it is 2 of 3 times around this 2.5-mile race course. Bernard on the inside, Nielsen on the outside. Nielsen still hanging back there, staying within the rooster tail of Jeff Bernard, at least through the corner when there's that big wall of water off the skin fin. But now you see Jeff Bernard start to move it out. He's got a full rooster tail now. He's got clean sailing. He's also got Jimmy Shane up here who's talking to him on the radio, and he's going to tell Jeff where the good water is. Jeff Ayler, I think I can tell him where the good water is. This water right now is beautiful.
Beautiful water here in Unlimited 1B. You see Jeff Bernard extending the lead, make it about 1 rooster tail as they'll come down to get the white flag. 2 in the books and 1 to go. And right now, Brad, Bernard trying to keep the number 1 alive, get those 400 points, put it back on the trailer, look to tomorrow.
Absolutely. Jeff Bernard will come down, looks to his right, picks up a white flag, 1 to go. Driving to U1, Goodman Real Estate presents Miss Home Street. But I'm going to tell you Bernard has got to be happy, but Jamie Nielsen driving the 11, Scott and Shannon Rainey, with the way this day started, the way the test session went over in the Tri-Cities when they never got the boat in the water, they have got to be very, very pleased at the way their boat is running right now. It's a 300-point run right now for Jamie Nielsen in second place. He's going to sit back. He's going to take it easy. He's going to let Bernard go. Second place at 300 points is nothing to sneeze at, as they are at the top end of the race course on the third of 3 times around. The checkered flag is hanging here on start finish. Bernard negotiates the top end of the race course, goes out to about lane 2, maybe 2.5 or 3. He will come down. The checkered flag is waving. Jeff Bernard, winner of Heat 1B, presented by Redstone Federal Credit Union. 400 points for Jeff Bernard, but a nice run for Jamie Nielsen. He'll pick up 300 points, and they have got to be really pleased with that second place finish. I just high-fived one of their crew members. All he said to me was, baby steps. Well, they just took some good steps, Jeff. They've got to be really happy in that 11 camp right now.
Brad, you hit the nail on the head on that final time around for the 11, the J&Ds. 300 points for them right now with the struggles they had this morning. It's like $300,000. But 2 boats with heat wins here to begin the Southern Cup activity. Corey Peabody, Pinnacle Peak Consultant, winner of 1A with 400. Jeff Bernard with 400 here, and Goodman Real Estate presents Miss Home Street. When I came down to the Southern Cup, those were the 2 drivers I didn't think would get 400 after the first section. This shakes things up for tomorrow.
It certainly does, and it's certain.
Is that your boat or my boat?
Yours. The really bright one's yours.
Okay, no, but the noise?
Yeah, that was yours.
Okay.
Good heat. Nice heat. We'll do that draw after the space tech truck. So once I hear it, I'll come and get you.
Okay, I need to film them. Thank you.
what lane you're in, get a good start.
Absolutely. You've got to get a good lane. You got to have clean water. You got to be at the start-finish line when the clock strikes 0, and you got to have a lot of boat speed. You better be moving when you get there. If you're a tick early and cross the start-finish line before the clock strikes 0, you win the opportunity to run an extra lap. We've got boats on a race course. Jamie Nielsen's going to bring them away from the pit area. Cities, 4 minutes and 40 seconds to the start of our Heat 2A. Coming off the top end of the race course here, Jamie Nielsen. had their troubles yesterday. Most of them, we believe, were electrical related, similar to the problems they had at the Tri-City test session. They got them ironed out. The boat ran great. Jeff Haler, quick run down the front straightaway. Boat looks good.
Jamie Nielsen comes in here with 300 points. Brad, he's cutting through the infield right now. That is a legal maneuver on this race course in the race before the race. Jamie is second yesterday in 1B. Brad, all the boats have to be in a planing attitude during the milling period, 80 miles per hour. That is monitored by H1 Unlimited through GPS. You have to have your lane established prior to the entrance pin of turn number 2 to the left of us for 3 minutes and 45 seconds until the start. Your lane is not assigned to you, which we mentioned. Brad, this is what we call the race before the race. This is where the games begin.
They really do begin right now, and Jeff and I were talking prior to this. J. Michael Kelly is a master at getting the inside lane. We have seen him and Jimmy Shane go at this so many times in the past, where J. Michael Kelly has been able to steal lane 1 by cutting the course at the last minute legally. Speaking of Jimmy Shane with 3 minutes and 15 seconds, speaking of Jimmy Shane, here he comes across start-finish line, and the Goodman Real Estate presents Miss Home Street. It is Heat 2A, presented by the Tennessee Valley Authority, the TVA. Our boats are spread apart on the race course. I don't think we're going to see the bucket list racing out here. 3 minutes. 3 minutes to the start, Jeff. That means the 440's got less than 2 minutes to get out here.
Every boat has to be in a planing attitude prior to the 1 minute period. If you're not in a planing attitude, then you're illegal starter. Still waiting for the bucket list to leave the dock. Brad, we're approaching 240. 3 boats up and running. Well-matched field here. Weather conditions ideal. Water conditions perfect. Day number 2 of the Southern Cup.
Let's go racing. We're going to do it. Heat 2A, presented by the TVA. Kelly, right in front of us here, comes across the start-finish line hard and then hangs it on the hook. That's what we call it. Now, keep an eye on Kelly with, what's the time? 2 minutes and 19 seconds. I don't think he can cut the course now. He could legally, but from a timing standpoint, I'm not sure that would work. You see, Jamie Nielsen just did. He cut the. Here comes Kelly. Kelly's going to come across. He's going to try and get inside Jimmy Shane, who's coming off the top end of the race course. Legal maneuver by both Jamie Nielsen and J. Michael Kelly. Now we'll see how Kelly and Nielsen want to play it going down toward the causeway. Still a minute 50 seconds until our start. They actually are a little bit early. Jamie Nielsen is a tad early, and remember, he can't go below 80 miles an hour. They'll have to go through tech inspection to find out if he really did, but he knows that. He can still make a legal start from there, but he's close. He's close. My timing marks, Jeff, you usually don't want to be at the start-finish line in 2 minutes. He was close. So Nielsen comes slowly off the lower corner down there. Kelly is in great shape, and you know Jimmy Shane behind everybody. He's in perfect shape. He can put his foot in it at any time and come up and join the other 2 boats. Now Nielsen has all of a sudden started to go. He knows he's too early. He can't cut the course down here at the lower end. He's got to go to the top end. So he put his foot in it. He's coming across the race course now. He's going to have to jump in behind. Watch him cut the course again. 1 minute. 1 minute. Now watch Nielsen go. Go, Jamie. Hang it. Here he goes. Nielsen will cut the course. He was too early. He was going to get up to the top end before he wanted to be there, and to be legal behind the start-finish line, he determined that he was going to have to drop below 80 miles an hour. A third place, last place finish was better than a disqualification. He made the right choice. 35 seconds until our start. Top end of the race course, and Kelly's early up there at 30 seconds now. You gotta like where Bernard sits. See if Kelly doesn't go wide to scruff off a bunch of speed. Now, Jimmy Shane, Jamie Nielsen, top end of the race course. Kelly's going to come down here on an inside lane, but he's lacking boat speed. That's the other piece to the puzzle. Got to be on time. Got to have clean water. You got to have boat speed. Kelly doesn't have it on the inside. 7 seconds, 6. Here comes our start. We are 3 seconds, 2, 1. Mark, and we are racing in our Heat 2A, presented by the Tennessee Valley Authority. First across the line was J. Michael Kelly, but he didn't have boat speed. He got gobbled up very, very good by the other 2. Look for Jimmy Shane. Now on the outside is Jamie Nielsen, but you've got all 3 of them down there in the corner. Great sight. The start was legal. Everybody was legal. Now it's time to just accelerate off the corner. Look at Jamie Nielsen on the outside. And here comes Kelly. And here comes Shane. Yes, Jeff Ayler, this is a triple-decker. Up the backstretch, they are side by side by side. You could put a blanket across all three of them. Kelly with the lane position on the inside. Got a little bit of a lead. Look at Nielsen in the 11. Oh, they got to give him room in there, and they did. Good luck off the top end of the race course. Kelly in 1, Shane in 2, Nielsen on the outside. Coming down to put one in the books, the first of 3. It is Kelly and Jimmy Shane. Kelly by a boat length. Jeff Ayler, this is Dynamite Racing in our Heat 2A.
Excellent dueling into turn number 1. Kelly to the inside, shorter way around. Shane to the outside, Nielsen back. There is Kelly at the apex with Brad. Shane is hidden in the tail.
Shane is there. He's on the outside. You still got 3 boats sharing the same rooster tail. But it is J. Michael Kelly up the backstretch in that Miss Tri-Cities, the U8. Look at him rock and roll. Shane doesn't want to let him go. Gonna hang with him on the outside. They are 3/4 of the way up the backstretch now. Kelly will set it up for the top end of the race course. Nielsen begins to drop back just a little bit. This is becoming a 2-boat affair out front, and it's rapidly becoming a J. Michael Kelly affair. Kelly, lane 1 on the inside, negotiates the top end of the race course. He will come down, look to the right. He will see the green flag. He will come down and put it in the books. It is lap number 2. Here he comes, J. Michael Kelly opened up. He has opened up a full rooster tail. They've got a green flag up, but they have just changed it to a white flag. White flag, 1 lap to go, Jeff.
Each boat accepted the white flag last time around for all 3 participants. Brad Dynamite dueling after 1 lap, but Kelly gained superiority in that turn the last time around. I think Shane will let him go, settle for those 300 points.
300 points are big, and yes, I think he will now. I think he thinks the shouting is over in this one. Jimmy Shane on the outside. He's tipping his head in there going, all right, if I'm going to run with this JMK guy, I may have to be on the inside of him because Kelly has been dominant here in Heat 2A, presented by the TVA. Top end of the race course. Here comes Kelly. All he's got to do is negotiate the exit pin, slides out to about lane 2, and it'll be J. Michael Kelly. He will come down, look to the right, see the checkered flag, and 400 points to Daryl and Vanessa Strong's U8, the Miss Tri-Cities, J. Michael Kelly. Jimmy Shane will come home in 2nd place driving. The Goodman Real Estate presents the home street. And Jeff, from my way of thinking, maybe the surprise in that heat is right here with Jamie Nielsen. They ran well.
Jamie Nielsen done a wonderful job. He was just a little bit off on his timing marks, but I think the speed is on the upswing for the number 11 J&Ds. But race fans, how'd you like that after 1 lap? We had a triple-decker on the back chute and on the front chute.
Yes, we did, and you got the Ayler growl 1 more time. Got to mix that in. I'll tell you what, Jeff Ayler, coming off that lower corner on lap 1, with Jamie Nielsen on the outside was our leader. Shane in lane 2 was in 2nd. Kelly was back. You could see all 3 boats coming out of there, and they just tightened up all the way down the back chute. That was awesome.
It was fun how it determined out. Kelly was a little bit back, and then Shane had a beautiful start. All 3 had a great start, but what a beautiful sight. I can't wait to see the still photographs after that one in turn number 1. But Brad, the boats will go back. They will go through tech inspection. Also with the fuel flow, the N2, and our new rule this year, the GPS monitoring with the 80-mile-per-hour rule in the warm-up period.
We'll get that confirmation and information as soon as we can. We are working very closely with the H1 officials. But, I'll tell you what, that was a good start for the day. I get all excited. We probably should go listen to some music, but doggone it, that was fun. I want to do that again. Put some more fuel in them. Let's go.
Great call. We'll do it again at 11:30 with Unlimited 2B. We've got Andrew Tate, presented by the Tennessee Valley Authority. Dave Billwalk in there, and Corey Peabody, the story of yesterday. Will he be the story today? Especially at 4 o'clock for the Southern Cup.
Now, we were talking earlier that on paper again, maybe our Heat 2B was the one to watch. 2A wasn't half bad. I'll take another one of those. That was fun. All right, race fans. Deep breath. We got another heat in the books, and it was fun. It's
that Mike.
Choices are a chance to show off something great. What happens when you go bold, go big, or
But again, the good news is Corey Peabody finished. He's got damage on the boat. They do have, as I said, another air scoop that they can put on there. They'll just check it and see if there's any other damage to the motor, but the boat seemed to be running fine after the fact. So want to remind everybody again of our Hydrocross Jet Ski autograph session going on right behind us here at start and finish. I'm going to step out here for a moment and see if we've got people back there. We do. They are there. We've got fans there. They've got room. Hydrocross drivers, they are there. Fans, go have a conversation. Talk to them about what it's like to drive a jet ski the way those guys do. How many years they've been doing it. They would love to talk to you. Hydrocross Jet Ski autograph session going on right now. So, next up on our schedule, I believe. National Heat 2 should be coming up next. We'll get boats on the water here very shortly, but until we do, let's try. The corral is still full with orange and black, so let's hope they can get it out and make a run. Meanwhile, check the clock. 2 minutes and 40 seconds. Jamie Nielsen cut the race course, got himself on the backstretch in front of Jeff Bernard. So we're just having a real slow roll here at 2:30 for the start. Nothing fancy right yet. Jeff's been pretty quiet, but then we've only got 2 boats there.
Situation as in 2B, everybody needs to be well behaved right now. Drive your race, drive a clean race. This is the final preliminary section of the weekend. Get those points, get ready for the Southern Cup final. You do not need to make a mistake here, as we saw back in 2B with Corey Peabody. Brad Luce, we're approaching the 2-minute period. 2 minutes away.
2 minutes to the start of our Heat 3A, presented by the Lake Guntersville Chamber of Commerce. It's the 2021 Lake Guntersville Hydrofest, the race for the Southern Cup. Coming up on 1:45 until our start, 1:45 to the start. So watch for Jamie to go all the way down to the lower end of the race course. Watch for Jeff to go down there behind him. I like where Jamie sits this time a whole lot better than I did last time, although he's still a little bit early, I think, Jeff. My timing mark on this race course, and it's totally unofficial. I always say you don't want to be at that entrance pin at $1.30, and he was down there about 120, 121. So we got 113 this time. If Jamie can hold it above 80 miles an hour, he was very close in that previous heat. They really had to look at the data, but he was legal, so I think he'll be okay this time. But if he wants it, I think he can secure lane 1. Jeff, will he do it with that boat? He hasn't spent much time in it.
I think it's an ideal situation right now, Brad. The 1 minute period is come and gone. Vilwalk again. An unfortunate did not start. We're down to 2. Jamie Nielsen and Jeff Bernard, 45 seconds away. Mr. Luce, bring him to the green flag.
Thank you very much, Jeff Ayler. Now keep an eye on that black and gold boat. Now you see the pedals start to go down. Look for Jeff to really try and run this thing hard to the start-finish line. Look at the speed with the 1 versus the speed at the 11. We've still got a lot of real estate to cover, and we've still got 25 seconds. It's only about a 12-second run off that exit pin down to the start-finish line. My watch says 16. So they may have to hold it back a little bit, and you see the drivers having to pull back a little bit. When are they going to put their foot in it? We're inside 10, coming up on 8. Now they start to accelerate to the line. We are 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2, 1. Mark! And we are racing in Heat 3A, presented by Lake Guntersville Chamber of Commerce. It's a good start. They were close. Those were probably the 2 best starts of the weekend. On the outside is Bernard, inside Nielsen. Nielsen stows his nose first. Where is Jeff? There he is on the outside, the home street. Goodman Real Estate presents the Miss Home Street. But look at Jamie Nielsen run right with him. Nielsen on the inside, Bernard on the outside. Good deck-to-deck boat racing up the backstretch. Now, the rules say that Jeff Bernard cannot move to the left and take lane 1 unless he has 7 boat lengths on Jamie Nielsen. Clearly, he doesn't have it. Nielsen's right there a boat length back. So Jeff Bernard's got to get him 30 feet of lane space. He does, driving him clean, as we like to say. Now it's acceleration off the corner, trying to come down to put the first of 3 laps in the book. Jeff Bernard on the outside. Goodman Real Estate presents Miss Home Street, but he's only got about 3 boat lengths. Really good racing, Jeff. He's got about 3 boat lengths on.
Picture perfect dueling as they go into turn number 1, working the second time here in the Lake Guntersville Chamber of Commerce Unlimited 3A. Bernard is there, but Brad Nielsen shorter way around. Will he tighten it up?
Boy, Nielsen is just not going to go away. He's in that left side rear view. Oh, he picked up the right sponson. He really flew it. He, Jamie Nielsen, but he settled it back down. He is trying to run down Jeff Bernard. We were talking to Jimmy Shane over here about 10 minutes ago, and he said the boat's a rocket. When he's talking about the boat, he's talking about the home street, which means Jamie Nielsen's got a rocket by the tail as well. Top end of the race course. Not much has changed here. It's about 2 boat lengths. Bernard drives him clean, gives him plenty of room. Off the corner, they will come down. They'll find a white flag. There's 1 to go. Jeff Bernard. This looks like the last lap, Jeff.
2 complete, 1 to go, an Unlimited 3A brought to you by the Lake Guntersville Chamber of Commerce. Bernard in front as they work into turn number 1, but Brad Nielsen's there. Will he close?
He's going to have to use that inside lane to his advantage and tighten. Look at, there he is again. Nielsen is just not going to go away. He's back about 4 boat lengths as they get to the exit pin of turn 1. This is the third of 3 times around the course. Jamie Nielsen hanging right with the Miss Home Street. Great racing here. We only had 2 boats in the heat, but let me tell you, they're putting on a great show as these guys are approaching probably 175, 185 miles an hour, right about there at the top end of the chute. Nielsen closes it up a little bit. Nielsen right there. He's back by a boat length or 2. Off the corner, going to be Nielsen and Bernard. Jamie's got some extra beans this time. This is going to be close. I think it's going to be Bernard. It is going to be Jeff Bernard by about a boat length and a half. Holy smoke. Jamie Nielsen really showed us something there, Jimmy. Close to that last corner.
Boy, the U11 J&Ds with Jamie Nielsen, you see cutting into the infield. Let's hope there's not a problem with the 11. But fans at Lake Guntersville, how'd you like that deck-to-deck dueling?
I think they like it, Jeff. That's good stuff. I know I did.
Me too.
That is. Oh, and Jamie has dropped down. Jamie has dropped down right after they crossed start-finish line. He immediately hung it on the hook, turned it left to try and get it back quickly to the pit area. Again, let's hope it's not something troublesome. Well, Scott Rainey just went by us and said, we're okay. We're okay. He's the boat owner of the Chartreuse and Royal Blue, and we see the lid is up, so Jamie's okay. And Scott said everything's good.
And Brad will. And Brad, we mentioned in the milling. Guaranteed.
Watch it again, Jeff. Here they come. Both of them are coming across again.
All three drivers guaranteed a spot up on the front row. And Brad, at the first Southern Cup, you saw an incident here on the front chute, similar to that, where two boats tangled, got some damage. This was not as close, but it was still a little bit frightening.
Yeah, it sure was. That is Corey Peabody, who's leading them down into the lower corner. Checking on the watch, 1:43. Oh, boy. That might be a little early, Corey. He's down there at 1:35. Corey Peabody at the entrance pin. Andrew Tate's behind him. Mike, what do you want to do? Mike says, I'll go all the way down to the lower end of the race course. We are inside a minute and a half, coming up on 1:20. 1:20 until the start. Remember, our boats cannot drop below 80 miles an hour once they are on the race course and running. So that would be recorded on the black boxes in the boat. That information would be found during tech inspection. Do not drop below 80 miles an hour. If you do, you can only do it once. Inside, 1 minute, Jeff, 55 seconds.
Brad, by my marks, Corey Peabody leading them up in turn number 2. He'll probably creep and crawl to the start-finish line. Andrew Tate, a little bit better start sequence, but look for J. Michael Kelly in the Miss Tri-Cities to come across at full song. Brad Luce, we're 38 seconds away. Bring him to the green flag.
Time to go race it here in Heat 3B, presented by the Lake Guntersville Chamber of Commerce. Corey is definitely early. How wide will he go? He will not. He's going to stay on that inside lane with 25 seconds until the start. But you notice the speed he does not have. Watch Kelly on the outside. That's the last boat up there. J. Michael Kelly was on the inside last time and slow. This time he's going to be on the outside with speed. We're inside 10 seconds. We are 7, 6, 5, 4, 3 seconds, 2, 1. Mark! J. Michael Kelly appears to have nailed the start. A carload of boat speed and right on the line. We'll make sure the start is official here. Waiting for the word from the officials. Look good to me, and look what a good start, and look what a lot of boat speed does for you. The start is under review. Start is under review. We will call them the way they are on the water, and the way they are in the water right now is J. Michael Kelly with a rooster tail over Andrew Tate, and it is Corey Peabody lacking behind everybody. Man, Kelly, if he was legal, Jeff, he just wired that start.
That was a smoking Bill Muncie start. Brad, we're getting unofficial word. Corey Peabody running in third could have a one-lap penalty for that lane infraction prior to the start cutting through the infield. But it's all JMK, but the start is under review.
Thank you very much, Jeff. He's monitoring the official radio. We'll get the official calls when we have it. But for J. Michael Kelly, it's 1 up. It is 1 down. It is 2 to go, assuming he is legal. Andrew Tate flying at 12. He comes across to complete lap number 1. If that is indeed correct, what may have been the case with Corey Peabody, that might explain why he is not pushing things too hard here in this heat. Now up the backstretch on lap number 2. J. Michael Kelly, this thing's running like a rocket.
We did get official word. Corey Peabody, a one-lap penalty in Pinnacle Peak Consulting for the illegal maneuver in the milling period prior to the start.
Thank you very much, Jeff. So, it's just a 1-lap penalty, so he will simply have, and now we are being told the start is good. The start is good, so J. Michael Kelly nailed it. That was an incredible start for Mike. He had all the boat speed. He had it right on the line. So close, they had to review it. Kelly, your official leader in our Heat 3B, presented by the Lake Guntersville Chamber of Commerce. Andrew Tate comes across in the 12 to Graham Trucking. Boy, oh boy, I'll tell you what, Jeff and or J. Michael Kelly would like to have that start around 4 o'clock this afternoon.
That's what you need at 4 o'clock this afternoon for the Southern Cup Final. Be at that start-finish line, buoy at full song, full throttle with not jumping. That could be key. Kelly really in front, followed by Tate and Peabody.
Peabody's going to be okay. He's going to pick up, if he continues to run, he'll pick up third place points. That's 225. He came in with 800. He'll be fine. He'll still be on the front row of the final. Remember, the points go out the window at that point. It is a winner-take-all final. But here comes our winner take all here in Heat 3B, presented by the Lake Guntersville Chamber of Commerce. Give it up for J. Michael Kelly, the driver of the U8, the Miss Tri-Cities.